Fortnite Season 2 is here, and with Fortnite Season 2, there's a bunch of new POIs, and in this video, we'll be going over all of them. Around the map, there are 6 new blimps that are floating on top of certain POIs. Now, all these blimps are pretty much the same. They all have vertical zip lines to reach them from the ground. They have 10 to 13 chests within them, and 5 to 18 supply chests, and they have over 40 floor loot spawns. There's also cannons around and on top of them, and on the ground, the bases and the outposts around these blimps. So these IO blimps are pretty much POIs that are built in within POIs, or I guess built on top of POIs, and they're great POIs. Now, Command Cavern is one of the POIs that has a blimp on it. Now, this used to be Covert Cavern, but it is now Command Cavern. And this place now holds over 66 chests, 26 supply chests, 283 floor loot spawns, and there's a bunch of tank spawns here as well. Now, Covert Cavern was already one of my favorite spots to land, but now there's a blimp here, so it makes it even better to land here, because not only can more people land here, but now I have the chance to kill more people here. There's also 2 mythics that spawn here. The first one is Huntsman Saber Thermal AR, which is a pretty good AR. And then we have Mythic Gunner's SMG, which we were all familiar with from last season. Now, pretty close to Command Cavern, we have the Fortress. Now, this place isn't the best, I'm gonna be honest. There's a bunch of IO guards that spawn here. Sloan spawns here. There's only 3 chests and 3 supply chests and 17 floor loot spawns. So honestly, it's not the best place to land. There is a tank that spawns here, which is pretty cool, which makes eliminating the IO guards a little bit easier. But rather than that, this place is pretty whack. But it is the place you get Sloan's Burst Assault Rifle, so I guess if you want it, you land here. Next, we have Synapse Station, which is actually where the Armored Battle Bus is being built. Now, not only is the Armored Battle Bus being built here, but this is actually one of the places where it's being funded. And I believe at this point, it's the highest area that's been funded, so I'm assuming the Battle Bus is going to spawn here first. Now, this place doesn't have any supply chests, but it does have 33 chests and over 100 floor loot spawns, so it's definitely a great place to land that not a lot of people are landing. The next place, we have Tilted Towers. Now, we're already familiar with this place, but now there's a big blimp on top of it, and there's also a tank that spawns downstairs as well. So it's changed up a little bit, and honestly, it's gotten a little bit better. And it's nice to know that Tilted is staying since the blimp is here. Next, we have the Daily Bugle, which has changed a bit, just like Tilted. It's pretty much the same, but now there's a blimp on top of it, which is pretty cool. Then we have Rocky Reels, which has also changed a little bit on the ground. There's a little bit units there. There's some outposts, if you want to call that, and there's a blimp on top of it as well. Coney Crossroads has changed a bit as well. There's also a blimp that spawns here, but this place also has a tank, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of barricades around this place as well, so it's nice to see this place is protected by the IO, because it just means there's more loot for us to get. Then another place that's been taken over by a blimp is Condo Canyon. This place also has a blimp and a tank, which is cool. Now, for some smaller changes that you might not notice, or some smaller POI changes, there's these outposts pretty much all around the map. These previously used to be IO drill sites, but now there's these big towers with some loot in them, which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of craters around the map, which is on the border of the IO versus 7 areas. If you see on your map, there's a red area and there's a blue area. Those are the 7 versus the IO, and between those, you'll see that there's these craters where, previous bombings have happened. So these craters have some loot in them, which are pretty nice. Not an area that you might land, but you might rotate to. And with that being said, the one last thing that changed is the Foundation is no longer high and mighty. It's actually just the Found, because he's been cut in half. Now, we're not quite sure how this happened. I believe they didn't show it in the trailer at all, but he is cut in half now, which is kind of sad. But with that being said, those are all the POIs, or at least most of the new POIs in Season 2, and hopefully you've been enjoying Season 2, because I have. But let me know in the comments below what's your favorite POI and what you like about this season. And if you did watch this far into the video, thank you. I appreciate it. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.